Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of a Crypto Bellwether. I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear to make an informed decision. Now guys, this is not clickbait. This is not here to speak bad about XRP, but this is a conversation we need to have. And I want to share with you what I'm seeing when I go down the rabbit hole and do my research. And I don't like it. It triggered me, and I'm still triggered. And I hope 100% that I'm wrong, but the pieces are just right there in front of me. Now I want to explain this to you. And guys, here's the deal. If you are serious about investing in crypto, especially long term, you need to hear me out because the crypto market is changing rapidly. And I don't think it's a coincidence of all the damage done to crypto this year. Now, I'm not going to dive into all that craziness at all, and I'm not trying to start a conspiracy, but these pieces are lining up. And my goal is to understand the game we're in and to try to front run whatever it is so I can make money. That's the reason I do this research and share it with you guys. I'm not here to shield. I'm not here to be negative. I just want to tell you what I'm seeing. So let's get into it. Now, if you know my background, you know I used to work for Bear Stearns, but I used to work for another Fortune 100 corporation. And guys, I've seen how the big players move around the globe, and it is a sight to see. It's actually a little scary, but when they want something, they're going to make it happen. And I know, and I've seen it for 25 plus years since I uncovered this and witnessed it firsthand, that the U.S. government, the central banks, and Wall Street, for the most part, pick winners and losers to the best of their ability. And everything they do is a means to an end. Now, that's where I start from. So I know follow the big money, right? Follow the movers and shakers. Whoever has the influence to move a market, right? Or to make a market. Who has the influence to get the to turn the SEC and make them weaponized against Ripple and the crypto market, right? Who has that power? Well, those are the entities that I follow. Now, so we're going to start there. Now, I know this. Over here, you got me and you, BitBoy, and the crypto market. And what we want is to just keep doing what we're doing. And enough regulation to allow the big money to come in, right? And yes, we would like to have an exchange or a place that we can trade that is safe. And I think everyone would love to have, say, a wallet that is a lot more user friendly. Outside of that, the crypto community wants to be left alone to grow and keep moving into the future. But now look, let's talk about what's over here. The U.S. government wants to control all of it. I mean, especially when you add in CBDCs, the upside to them is immense. But with regulation, look at the money they're making from crypto in the last 5 years just through the SEC, billions of dollars, right? So they want to control taxes. In the future, they can control everything if they have their way with CBDCs and all that. So that's what the U.S. government wants. Wall Street wants to control all of it, or at least get a piece of it and own it. If they had their way, everyone would have to trade through, say, a stock exchange. And Wall Street wants a piece of every blockchain or every company that is building in the ecosystem of blockchain, Web3, and all that, right? Now, you have the governments around the world who want the same thing as the U.S. government, all that control with a digital currency. You have the banks that want to 100% to custody all of our money, right? If you want to buy Bitcoin, if you want to buy Ethereum, if you want to buy XRP, just go down to your local bank. They want that. Now, they also want to control DeFi, right? They don't want us to be able to have decentralized access to staking and yield farming and all that. They want to do it for us. And they definitely want to control like the stable coins and all that. So we know, here's what crypto wants, me and you and crypto, and here's what those entities want. And we're all fighting it out. Now, I don't mean to be negative, but what we want, guys, we're not going to get. That part I'm sure of. Now, if we're this far apart and we want each other to stay as far apart as we can, when it's all said and done, I don't know if it's going to be like this, but I know that this entity is 1,000x more powerful than the crypto community. They're going to get their way as much as possible, and it's going to be a lot. Now, what do I have to prove that? And like I said, guys, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going to share with you what I've seen and what I see happening right now. The good news is, before we get into it, is the adoption across the world is absolutely exploding. And I know for sure that all the stuff that's going on right now that's being built and put in place, the money is going to catch up with all this activity. It has to. This next bull run, whether it's 6 weeks, 6 months, or 2 years from now, is going to be something that no one has ever witnessed in ever. Now, I don't think it's a coincidence that XRP is the one that is in court right now. Now, at first, I thought that the main reason, the number one reason that XRP was, in court was because they were going to disrupt the banking system, and the banks picked up the phone call, called Washington, and said, "We can't have this. What are you going to do about it?" And they're like, "Well, we'll weaponize the SEC. How much time do you need?" "We need 2 or 3 years." Okay, so they stopped Ripple in their tracks, at least in the American market with the banks. And now all these entities, the banks and Wall Street and the governments, they're all putting their systems in place. So I thought that was pretty much the main goal, and anything else, like the control of crypto, was just something that the SEC was just reaching for. It was a power grab, might as well try it. But that wasn't their main goal, and maybe they'd win, maybe they won't. Well, guys, and I hope I'm wrong, but I'm here to tell you, I think there's an above average chance. And I didn't think this way just days ago, but I think there's an above average chance that Ripple loses. Now, I know that's going to trigger you guys, and it triggered me. I don't like uncovering this stuff, but bear with me. And like I said, I hope I'm wrong. But as I've done some videos in the last 2 or 3 weeks, my community has sent me some messages, said, "Hey, you need to go down the rabbit hole on like INX Exchange and all that." Well, I didn't, and I kept that in my mind. But the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've started to see, because I follow the money, I started to see JP Morgan, IBM, Accenture, Wells Fargo, the Six Group, CLS Group, all these global powerhouse entities starting to do projects together. And then when, it hit the news, you remember about, over a month ago, when JP Morgan and Circle and BlackRock and the Bank of New York Mellon, well, that was a big deal. and I did put the pieces together about how I thought Wall Street is their plan to take over crypto, and that was very, very legit. But then a week or two later, there was that announcement that J.P. Morgan, tokenized what it was, the Singapore dollar, whatever it was, and was the first tokenized digital asset ever traded on a open blockchain, which was Aave and Matic, right? Guys, that was huge. Well, I started following that and those entities. And then they started talking about the exchange doing the same thing in Singapore, and all those groups that I just mentioned, all those corporations got all kinds of projects together. So I've been seeing that. Well, now think about this. And I do not like Gary Gensler whatsoever, but I truly believe he's a patsy. It's not about him, guys. He's just making it happen. There's the three powerhouses, the entities I talked about before. They're the ones pulling the strings. Now think about it. Who's the beneficiary? Who benefits from everything that's happened so far? The banks and the government and Wall Street. Every bit of damage that has been done to the crypto community, those entities are just coming out more and more and more on top. Now, so here's what I think is going to happen, and I hope I'm wrong. Ripple's going to lose, and they're going to be deemed as security just like LIBRARY, which I believe that the whatever tokens, ever how many there are, there's going to be like commodity tokens, right, which would be like Bitcoin, and it would be not under the SEC. They're going to tokenize oil, gas, all those probably will be security tokens like Ripple, LIBRARY, and those tokens. And then you'll have the regular crypto tokens. So there's going to be three. There may end up being 5 different type tokens. There may be 50. I don't know. But bear with me. Now, at first, I'll be honest, I didn't really know what INX Exchange was. But let me read something to you. INX. Invest and trade crypto and security tokens on one platform. So you can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, LIBRARY, INX. There's already hundreds of tokens that are security tokens. Now, it says home of the first SEC registered exchange token in history. Now, let's talk about Gary Gensler. He has not wavered in a couple of things. When he won that LIBRARY case, what did he say? He said crypto hasn't seen anything yet. And he also has said from day one, which I thought at the time did not have any merit. He said, when especially like a congressman or someone approached him and has asked him, look, we need regulation. Why don't we have regulation? Gary Gensler he said every single time the same thing. We have regulation. People just don't want to adhere to it. And we are going to enforce it. And you haven't seen anything yet. That's Gary Gensler. Now, let's follow. Remember, the U.S. government, central banks, Wall Street, they want to control. We got that fight going on. Well, let's look at what INX is. And guys, before we do, I want to show you something. I read this, and I believe I've got so much information I've looked at. I believe this is what they submitted to the SEC. But this is just documentation talking about what they are and who's behind it. Guys, it's powerhouse players. the men in control, like on the board that are running INX, this isn't just some wannabes. They're older men, much older than me, who've been around for many, many years. They're very connected. And when you look at their resumes, all those powerful corporations around the world, they're like in the top echelon of those jobs and those corporations. And now they've gotten together with INX. Now, let's dig into it. Check out this article. Game yet to begin for security token offerings, INX executive says. The current crypto bear market had no direct impact on STO platform, which is where those tokens are now. That's security token offering. I believe that's what it is. And INX, because STOs are very different from others in the space. So basically, guys, you go through there and they just talk about what they are setting up. And guys, I believe they raised like they raised $85 million in 2021. So this isn't a joke. This isn't a small project of wannabes. This is a big boy project. And I believe, for some reason, I'm thinking 170 million has been raised. Don't hold me to that. But when you read through everything they talk about, guys, it's here to stay. And when you go look at what they already have $14-15 billion being traded on their platform. Now, let me read something. We do not leverage clients' funds. We do not take proprietary risk, and we do not take the other side in investments. Rather, we should be thought of as a broker-dealer that helps clients raise capital and then provides a platform for liquidity. We are different. It's kind of like a hybrid, guys. It's basically an exact hybrid. See, they got rid of the ICOs, making them an IPO. So you still go raise money, but what happened? Guess who can't participate on IPOs? Now, hopefully, they will change this as far as the law. But on Wall Street, if you're not an accredited investor, you can't take part in an IPO. Remember I told you earlier? I knew this from day one that they would go after it. And I hope they lose. This isn't a done deal. The regulation hasn't came out. But basically, here's the hybrid. You can launch as a token security. Instead of ICO, you do an IPO, which brings in Wall Street money. They get all the upfront, the 1000x coming out of the gate. Then when it falls and crashes, we can decide if we want, just like the stock market. I hate that. And again, I hope I'm wrong. But let's look at it. I mean, guys, this exchange, it says pioneering a new digital economy. The world's first fully registered, regulated platform merging investing and trading in security tokens, cryptocurrencies, and capital raise services all in one. They're trying to basically bring Wall Street in. Bring all that money, and this is one of the exchanges. Now, here's the part that bothers me the most. But when I follow those big boy names, check this out, guys. And I highly recommend you go inx.co and surf around, because this may be looking at crypto 5 years ago. It's very, very early, guys. I don't know where it's going to lead, but I'm here for the money. I'm here for the profit. None of this financial advice, but if this exchange takes off, I will invest in it. I'm not here to fight it. I'm old enough to know I only care about things I can change or control. And we're along for the ride, guys, the way I see it. But look at this. INX works with Barclays, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, BNP, and Credit Suisse. See, guys, those are the names that I've been connecting, right? Now, here's another thing. well, let's take a look at stomarket.com. This is where the security tokens are listed and get launched right now. And you can see these names, and there's a bunch of them. And there's INX Limited. So, and I just go ahead and tell you guys, I don't know if I'm going to put my money in there, but I did register with INX to trade today. So I haven't sent any money or any of that, and I'll let you know, my thoughts as I go more down the rabbit hole. I'm just uncovering all this. But I truly believe, guys, there's going to be, 3 different entities at least. There's going to be like Bitcoin, commodity type, crypto tokens. There's going to be security tokens and standard crypto, like, let's say Ethereum. Now, here's the thing about Ethereum. At first, and guys, I don't have it all figured out. And please let me know what you think in the comment section. I need your help. I want your help. I want your input. I don't need any hate comments. I'm trying to figure this out, and we can do it as a community. But my thoughts are, if Ripple loses, it's just going to set the precedent. And there we go. Everything's going to change. It's going to change overnight. This exchange, for instance, both of these are going to absolutely explode. But my first thought was, I got 2 thoughts on Ethereum. They're the chosen one, right? They are given a pass, like it or not. That's what I thought. And then I said, but if Ripple loses, it's going to be hard pressed to say that Ethereum's not the same thing. And I truly believe that. But again, guys, as we see every day, we get lied to from the White House about everything. Heck, we're not even in a recession. And inflation is not created by printing money. Man, so if you think that you're going to get a fair shake when all this transpires, guys, you're kidding yourself. But here's the out. Here's why I don't think they're going to make Ethereum a security. And I hope they don't. And I hope they don't on any of them. XRP, either way. Now, there may be an upside to if Ripple loses. And hopefully I'll remember to share that with you. But let me continue my point. When you see this chart right here, guys, it says, it's from INX, and it has, it says, what should you look for before investing? And it has the exchanges, which is Voyager, FTX. Both those are gone, irrelevant. BNB and INX. And it says, can be used as a utility. Well, all of those could. Not usable as collateral. Well, you can use INX as collateral, which we know everything's going to be tokenized, guys, and you'll be able to use it as collateral. Now, anyway, I'm not even going to go into this. You should go check it out yourself. But right here, it says no token burning. Now, obviously, guys, if there's no token burning, in my opinion, there is no way they can make Ethereum a security. And if they do, and it changes how everything, the merge just happened, and if Ethereum goes belly up, guys, I don't even know how it's going to transpire. But I don't see Ethereum, I just don't see Wall Street, BlackRock, JP Morgan, all that fat money behind Ethereum getting just beat up like that. I don't see it going away. I just don't. For whatever it's worth, let me know what you think in the comment section. Now, if there's an upside, well, one more thing I want to remember. Remember when I said JP Morgan and they did the trade that made the news about Aave and Polygon? Well, there's an exchange called SDX, and I truly think this might be a sleeper. Both INX and SDX is something we need to look at. Because basically, without really understanding it, and I haven't dug into it like I want to, guys, but this is the big money, the power. This is the Wall Street players across the pond, right? These are the other power players around the world that are not, basically from the West, but they are best friends and in bed with like J.P. Morgan and Wells Fargo and all the big boys. And so, and they just made the same exact type thing happen when they they tokenized um, and did a trade on this exchange. And I don't want to sound like I haven't done my homework, but guys, I don't really totally understand this exchange yet. I will go down the rabbit hole. But what I'm trying to get at is all these pieces are coming together. Now, let me just make a statement. Some of you are gonna, understand this, but some of you it's probably gonna trigger you. But this could be some good news. Hear me out. I have been bullish on XRP, which I told you I own, but bizarrely bullish on Ripple. Two different things. Because I have studied extensively the business, blueprint of Ripple. And 90% or more of everything they do, guys, doesn't concern XRP. And I'm like, I want a piece of that IPO. And I think most people would agree they would love to have a piece of Ripple. But most people are not accredited investors because they have announced that they're going to do an IPO. And that is, guys, where the real money for Ripple, believe it or not, as wealthy as they are as a company, and Brad and all them launching XRP, you haven't seen anything like the money that is going to flood into Ripple when they go public. Now, that being said, if they are deemed a security token, well, technically, you're not going public. You already did. And now I could be misunderstanding my thought, how this is going to play out. But if they get deemed a security, they will be traded like on this exchange. And you can scroll down and you will see Ripple. And you'll be able to click there and you buy a piece of Ripple. See, the way these tokens work is you don't own a piece of XRP, you own a piece of Ripple. And they even pay dividends on a lot of these security tokens. So it could work out that instead of owning XRP, like we all do, we now own a piece of the Ripple security token. Now, the downside to that is, who knows? They could say, well, you're not an accredited investor, and we get kicked to the curb. I don't know what that would mean for the XRP holders. I don't know any of that, guys. Anyway, that's all my thoughts, guys. Hopefully, I put some thoughts in your head. I'm really curious what you guys think. Like I said, this triggered me. I had to walk around the block, get my head on straight when I first uncovered this, started really putting the pieces together. It bothers me, but it's out of my control. And I hope 100% I'm wrong. But guys, it just makes sense. And here's another thing. They're going to drag this on and on and on because they're not ready for this to transpire yet. And I'll tell you another thing. I don't think it's a coincidence, all the craziness we've had in crypto. And it makes sense. I know this is going to sound crazy. But you look at everything our government has been doing. They're going to crash this economy and the global economy. Now let's think about it. It's not going to affect them. Not one person involved in any of these entities, Jamie Dimon, any of them, even Brad. None of those people, their life's not going to change no matter how it pans out, no matter how the economy crashed, they're just going to get wealthier because they basically have unlimited money. Even if they don't have it themselves, they can go borrow it. So if a beach house goes from 4 million to 1.5 million, they'll buy 3, right? So there's nothing better than a crash for the elite, the wealthy. The wealthier you are, the more you want a crash. Yes, it hurts short term, but long term is the best thing that ever happened. Now let's think about this, guys. The pain's going to come to the average person. It's going to come to me and you. But if you crash stocks and really crash crypto, which they're already doing, but let's say we take it down another 20% of pain. Look where we're at. Half the people are going to be so disgusted. By the time regulation, let's just say a year from now, if we're down 25%, we've been trading sideways for a year. Like I said, guys, I hope I'm wrong, but think about this. This is lining up and it makes sense. And a year from now, when everyone's stopped, I can already see it in my channel, guys. Ask anybody that, has a channel, views are going down. The excitement about crypto, I mean, people are running out of it and they don't have a lot of hype to tell their friends. And their friends are starting to point the finger going, see, I told you. But don't let that beat you down, guys. Stay strong. Keep educating yourself. But anyway, so if a year from now, Bitcoin's sitting at $12,000, $14,000, been trading sideways, nothing's really done anything but a little pump, and then the stock market drops another 20, 25% because something broke. And then the SEC rolls out their announcement about Ripple's is now a security token outside of the XRP army and a handful of people. No one will care. They'll be like, hey, so what? And then all that rolls out, and guess who has the money to pick up the pieces? Wall Street, right? And they will own everything. They will take, let's say, Bitcoin up from $12,000 to $40,000 overnight, where the average person is going, man, I wanted to get one whole coin. They'll take Ethereum from, I don't know, $400 or $500 to $10,000 overnight, and everyone misses it. And they got the regulation, this exchange, there are probably 2 or 3 more, the one overseas, everything's getting tokenized. The banks are now offering 15%. We can cut on the printer. Inflation can run rapid because literally you can put your money in the bank at 15%, and the bank could be doing the staking and the farming and all that, and they'll be making 50, 100% on your money. They'll pay us enough to shut us up, and it won't be 15% because it won't take that much to make the sheep happy. Anyway, guys, whew, I didn't mean to get on a rant. But this does bother me. I'm on your side, guys. I'm for crypto. I'm for decentralization. I want to be left alone. I want to be able to keep doing what we've been doing, but it ain't going to happen, guys. Wall Street, the government, the central banks, they're coming after crypto, and they're doing a dang good job. And I hope I'm wrong. But guys, no matter whether you want to, hear this, I think this is a conversation that we need to have, because this is legit, guys. This isn't a joke. We already, now think about this and I'll let you go. Here's what Gary Gensler's going to say in a court of law. We all think he's a crook and he's this and he's that and he's in bed with this. Here's what he's going to say. Now think about it right now. He's going to defend himself if he was in a court of law or at Congress and they're like, dude, you are scamming people. You are the problem. You haven't regulated. He's going to go, oh, really? And he's going to have a list of 20,000 tokens that are scamming people. That's what he's going to say. They're all scammers. Let me show you what legit looks like. And he's just going to name Enigra, T0, Millennium, INX, XY Labs. These are all good, honest tokens. They came to us. We gave them direction. The rest of them are trying to scam the world. And what are you going to say to that? There's hundreds. So he's going to say, hey, Regulation's been in place since day one. That's why I haven't been just putting a lot of different rules in place. They've been in place. Mark my words, guys. That's what's going to happen. And the reason I do all this, I want to figure out how to capitalize on it. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. I hope I'm wrong. That being said, if you find this interesting at all, we want you to subscribe, be part of this community. We're going to grow and learn together. Guys, we're going to figure it out. We're going to capitalize on what's coming down the pipe. But this is not financial advice. I'm telling you guys, we put our heads together as a community and we keep listening to each other and we keep learning, we keep growing. We're going to front run all this big money. So when Bitcoin crashes down to $7,000, we're going to be happy about it. We're not going to be crying. We're not going to leave. I want to highly encourage you guys to start stacking cash. Again, not financial advice. Stack cash. Get ready. If you feel comfortable, dollar cost average into utility tokens, into Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever your favorite token is. I think HBAR is going to be around a long time. Quant, a lot of different projects, maybe 10 or 15 projects that are going to be around 2, 3, 5 years. Yes, there's hundreds going to be around, but there's only a handful that I really feel comfortable dollar cost averaging into all the craziness. Now, that being said, guys, we haven't seen anything yet. I've been saying this for a long time. We may be at the bottom or around the bottom, wherever we're at, but something's going to break. And I don't mean in crypto. We've had a lot break in crypto, and we should be close to the bottom, guys. But here's the other thing that's going to happen. Before Biden gets out of office, something's going to break in the global environment that's going to affect the American economy. Something's going to break like 08, 87, the Great Depression. Go back as far as you want. Something's going to break. And that is when we get the bottom. Now, I hope, and I truly believe this, I just don't know when. But I believe when that happens and everyone realizes, wait a minute, my beach house went down 80%, right? 40%, 50%, whatever. My 401k has been cut way less than half. I can't even retire. When all that hits, they're going to start looking at Bitcoin. And they're going to say, that's when I think it's going to start to decouple from the stock market and be its own asset class like gold. And that's how people are going to see it. And then they will think it's a safe haven for inflation. And when all that happens, Bitcoin's going to rise like a phoenix, and it is going to rally to $45,000 because the institution's going to get in. Everybody that's ever thought about being in crypto or has already bought and lost in crypto is going to FOMO in, and Bitcoin in this next bull run, when they cut on that printing press after something breaks, is going to bust through 100K changing gears. Now, it's probably going to come way back after that, but I'm telling you, it's going to rise like a phoenix. I truly believe that. And guess what? All our favorite tokens, like XRP or whatever it is, all those altcoins are going to just come bulldozing up. And that is going to be life-changing. And remember, not financial advice. So anyway, guys, hopefully, I know this sounded negative, but 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, none of it's negative because we're going to take advantage of whatever situation we end up in. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but guys, there's too many pieces in place. There's no way I'm wrong about all of it. Maybe I'm right about 50%, 75%. I don't know. I hope 100% I'm wrong about XRP. But that's just too easy, guys. They're going to draw it out, and it's just going to happen when no one really cares. They're just going to beat us down. They're going to beat us down until the majority of people are already out of crypto. And really, guys, if you're not out now, there's no reason to leave. I mean, think about your account. No matter who you are, if you've been dollar cost averaging down, why sell it now? You'd be out of your mind to sell your XRP, for instance, if you bought it at a quarter or 50 cents or 85 cents, or no matter where you bought it. Even, if you bought Bitcoin at $68,000 in 5 years, you're going to be bragging at a cocktail party how you bought it at 68,000. But the odds are you've probably already taken that huge loss. Why do that, guys? All right, that's all I got for you. This is not financial advice. I don't even know. I've been talking so long. If I haven't said, hit that like button. Go ahead and hit it. Subscribe. Be part of this community, guys. That's all I got for you. Take care.